Hey there, my name is Pravus and welcome to more Hearts of Iron 4, the new Kingdom of God, playing as His Holiness Papa Pio of the Papal State. Can never forget the Popat. Alright, so we have managed to snag Yugoslavia and Romania. Basically the entirety of the Balkans is under my control. We do want to move on to taking on someone like Turkey, but it's gonna be a little bit before we can pull that off. The next thing I'm currently working on is demanding Palestine from the UK, and hopefully they are going to give it to me without a fuss. If they do, it sets me up for a very quick war against Vichy France whenever World War II finally does break out. I want to be on the side of the Germans. I just don't actually want to get involved in World War II, at least initially. I don't want to fight against France and the UK early. I just want to take out the Vichy. Go ahead, eat all the Mediterranean area, eat Syria, eat Africa. Then we can worry about fighting the UK and Turkey. Take that, and boom, guys, you got yourself a Roman Empire just waiting to happen. It's gonna be amazing. So let's go ahead and unpause and just see if they say yes to this one. The Holy Lands is done. The demand hath been sent. Okay. So where are we going now on the focus tree? We could go for, of course, the better air mission efficiency, which is kind of nuts. Or we could go with the Papal State, also known as a Catholic Dominion. Wow. That could be kind of fun. But I kind of liked staying as the Papal State for at least a little bit. Seemed kind of fun. Could go ahead and get myself some more manpower and division recovery rate. Yeah, there's a lot of good stuff we can do here. Absolute ton. But it is 1939, so you know something I'm going to do? I'm going to go ahead and grab myself the extra research slot. The only thing the Pope can't give me is extra science. I know, crazy. Look at that! The UK just gives me Palestine. Thank you! Look at that! All right, so we get that now. That's one more step toward becoming the Roman Empire. And now we just sort of sit back on autopilot for a little bit and we wait for the Germans to fight against Poland. It should be fine, no problem. We will, of course, need to annex Yugoslavia in order to form said Roman Empire. And we still have to deal with Iberia at some point as well, but don't worry. Don't you worry, we'll get there. We have some extra military factories, eh? What do we want? Probably some artillery, at least to start. I don't feel like we need these light tanks really anymore, but I guess one factory on them isn't gonna hurt me too much. We are building out some close air support and some fighters that I've dedicated. The interwar cars are doing fine. I actually think I can pull back probably one factory from these. Let's toss 2 extra factories into artillery for now, since that's the only thing that I'm in the negative on. And we are starting, to burn through a fair number of guns. Finally, Nationalist Spain wins. God! What is this new thing about the Nationalists struggling to take Madrid? Anyway. So we're losing a lot of guns due to some occupations, but we should be sort of fine. We're using the local police force as much as possible. We're making use of our spies to burn down some of the unrest. As long as we do that, we're going to be fine. We have bypassed something from the Nationalists, since that's all done. Oh, right. Over all the way over here, we would have had the ability to do something. Yes. Better ground bombing, targeting, blah, blah, blah. We could have given ourselves some extra fighter wings and stuff. Oh, maybe I should have done that. That would have been kind of nice. Whatever. E is fine. One thing I could consider doing is going for something like Italy first, and this would eventually give me the war goal I'm looking for on Turkey. But I'm hoping once World War II begins, it's not going to be that relevant, and we justify war goals pretty fast. Unfortunately, I cannot join in on the Pact of Steel anymore because I am not a member of... Sorry, I am not fascist. Yes, that is what I am trying to say. I am not fascist. Actually, that's going to make it really difficult to figure out how to take on Vichy France, isn't it? Okay, so I'm trying to think through how we do this. When Vichy France becomes a thing, they're guaranteed by the Germans, but they're not a part of the Axis. If you're part of the Axis, you can attack them and Germany doesn't care. You just go ahead and kill southern France. What I might do then is, once Vichy France exists, declare on the UK, and if World War II is going on, I'll be at war against the Allies. The Germans will call me in and offer to let me join the faction, join the Axis, attack Vichy, finish them off, eat Egypt, then turn all my attention to helping to finish off the UK. Maybe? And then somewhere in that, we've got to fit a war against Turkey. I'm still playing a lot of this by ear, okay? I'm trying to figure out the best procedure. The biggest problem was just getting to the Papal State and getting rid of Bulgaria to eating the Balkans early. Right now, we got a little time to breathe and think through what we want to do. I am going to get a Chief of Navy. I feel like getting myself something a little bit better would be nice, and I wouldn't mind eking out a little bit of experience. What else we want to do? We have got the... No, we don't have a proper medium tanked chassis, so I'm not going to worry about any of that right now. Could work on some bombers or transport planes. I don't see that as very important. Let's go over some total anti-air. If we're going to be fighting against the UK, you better believe anti-air is going to be a necessity. I'm not going to have enough fighters to take him down. It's just not a thing. Excuse me, the Pope drinks Dr. Pepper. Actually, my wife is, she's out of town. She took Gimli with her to go and visit her parents, because, you know, reasons I'll explain another day. But anyway, she went to go visit her parents, and I'm, you know, having fun recording. And, I'm like, you know what? I haven't had a Dr. Pepper from a can for a very long time, so I'm just gonna go ahead and get some. Turns out, at the ripe age of 32, you can still get pretty wired on sugar and caffeine. I don't really like it, if I'm honest. And yet, how can I stop? Anyway, so I've been recording Terra Invicta for like 12 hours today. Ugh! Turns out that's a little bit of a slog. Anyway, so that's why my brain is, one, not functioning well, and that's why my wife's not here. So she doesn't like sitting around while I work all day. What do we want as far as other things? We could go for some sub detection. I could get a theorist. Now, unfortunately, we don't have any really good theorists anymore. In fact, I don't even think we have a good... Yeah, we've got trench warfare. We've got freaking grand battle plan for our doctrine. Yeah, I don't really love that. It's okay. A lot of people are saying that people sleep on grand battle plan, but here's the thing. I don't even get this expert anymore. Right? He was fascist only, so now he's gone. So it's no good. Would be nice to go ahead and get something like the professional corps just so we can get some extra experience gain. I do tend to like getting some guys here, but we'll worry about that later. We can go ahead and just work on Grand Battle Plan. I don't think it's great. I'm not convinced that it's outstanding, but a lot of people like it. So, okay, let's go ahead and just pick some up. Grab at least 2, I think. The extra organization on troops is pretty solid. Can't deny that. And since we have some time before World War II begins, let's just make sure that our troops get properly trained up, farm out a little bit of experience, but also just have a whole bunch of regulars ready to go. Actually, a lot of my troops are just sort of sitting around with no idea what to do with themselves, which I find rather amusing. So we're gonna set up some troops over there, we're gonna set some troops over here, we're gonna set some troops over here, we're gonna set some troops over here, okay? These are gonna be my focus against Egypt and Syria. That's what I wanna take out, all right? I wanna be able to push aggressively off in this direction and eat everything they've got, okay? Good enough for now. This actually might be too many. We'll take a look at our supply and see how we're feeling later. You are going to set up over here against the French, and you are going to set up against... primarily against Turkey, in case we can find something there, but let's also go ahead and grab at least a handful of troops that can join up in Africa to make sure we fight against the French there. I don't know, I often find that for some reason the UK and the French, like, they don't focus as much in defending their territory in Europe as they should, but if the player's in Africa, by God, they're gonna send everything they've got into Africa. Anyway, my goal is to take out the Allies and eat the territory I need to form the Roman Empire before Barbarossa, so that I'll then be able to go and fight against the Soviet Union while they're distracted with the Germans. If I can do that, we're gonna find ourselves in a really, really good spot. I'm making a lot more manpower, by the way. That's finally starting to catch up. Beautiful. Are we doing any more upgrades? No, we are not. Let's go ahead and continue upgrading my intelligence agency. Always going to be important. How are we doing on factories? We've got a good 45 civilian factories working overtime right now, so we're actually building some things out pretty darn fast. I like that. The extra military factories is great. And there's the extra research slot. Love it. All right. Let's see. Setting course. You could start working toward Mare Nostrum. What does this do again? It gives you a decision for Mare Nostrum, so I don't think you actually have to do this. This is the same decision that you would get down this route as you do with just going for the Catholic Dominion. That's interesting. Huh. What else would make a lot of sense? We do want to continue boosting out my army and such. That's always important. We could go for cheaper artillery, by the way. Yeah, it actually makes anti-air cheaper as well. That's really good. Yeah. Let's go ahead and pick that sucker up. Extra research slot, 1939. We want the extra factory output, as you would expect. And under more factories, we are now starting to produce some towed anti-air. Do we want to just continue focusing on fighters and CAS? Logistically speaking, we're starting to catch up on artillery. We've got at least some support equipment. It's not an outstanding amount. Yeah, I think we go ahead and just focus on getting some extra fighters, followed by extra CAS. That's good. Portugal wants to buy ships. Sure, why not? Go ahead, buy ships. Give me a free off civilian factory. That's fine. So what's going to end up happening with Spain and Portugal? Great question. If you look down over Myaw, there's the Iberian Protection. If you're the Pope and you click this button, they almost always say yes and just become your puppet like that. Boom, they just give over their freedom for the glory of God or something like that, which is pretty great. So with those puppets, I'll be able to eventually just annex them, and lo and behold, that's Iberia needed for Mare Nostrum, so we can form the Holy, truly Roman Empire. It's gonna be great. That's what I'm going for. We're rolling in a lot more political power than I know what to do with. Let's go ahead and get a tank designer. I feel like I might as well. Whatever. And for a theorist, I don't know, air doctrine, maybe? Sure, why not? Air doctrine's good. Free civilian factories? Oh my god, free? What does that mean? I don't even know what the show is from, to be honest, what that is, but okay. Let's go ahead and just build out a couple more military factories where we can. And, you know, it wouldn't be a bad idea to get myself a bit of radar in a few key areas so I can see what the heck the British are going to end up doing at some point. I'd like to just go ahead and get that. I don't know, feels like that could be useful. I want to know when their planes are coming, I want to know where their ships are going. It's not a lot of intelligence, but we'll upgrade some of that stuff later. And honestly, I feel like we're kind of in a point where as long as I play my cards right, we should be pretty golden to go for our Mare Nostrum run. It all comes down to political maneuvering, not necessarily tactics, because when I'm fighting a war, I can win my section on my own, and as long as I got the Germans doing a lot of the other heavy lifting, I don't really care what happens. All is going to be well. So do we jump forward, or you just sort of chew the fat and hang out and drink Dr. Pepper? Maybe process a little bit of oil? Get some construction tech up and running? I don't know. I'm hopped up on Mountain Dew. Oh, that's a reference to something. What was that, Talladega Nights? Gosh, why is my brain thinking about that? I have absolutely no idea. Anyways, do we want to go for some early light airframes? If we did that, we could start going for some pretty cool stuff. And by pretty cool stuff, I mean we could get some upgrades to my fighters and stuff early. Yeah. Or we go ahead and get the upgrades in artillery, and once I finish this focus, I get 2 75% research bonuses for artillery, so I go ahead of time on that. Also, hello, upgrade for my infantry equipment. Excellent. So we'll have a little bit of extra stats for all of my infantry. We can probably consider going for upgrades to not armored cars yet. Never mind, that is in a few months. Fine. Let's go ahead and grab basic things like the engineers. Also, we could go, well, how are we doing on logistics, actually? We have plenty of trains in logistics, but I would like to get some railway guns. You know, the hand of God or something like that. You're like just minding your own business. The Pope declared war on you, but you're laughing because who takes the Pope seriously? And then what? Boom! You know? Railway guns. Death from above. The judgment of God. I like that. I don't know. I just never get to use railway guns very often. I find that it's a very easy thing to ignore. But they're pretty decent. I mean, they do give you at least a little bit of an attack boost. They're pretty helpful as far as boosting up an infantry-heavy army, which is kind of what I've got. We are, by the way, training up more troops, so let's not think that this is the end of things. I do want to add more onto this template. Logistics would allow me to reduce my supply by a lot if I have the support equipment to go around, which I barely do with what I've got right now. If I'm going to be fighting in Africa, I need low supply units. Supply use. 0.93 with some of these. These are just regular infantry. Irregular infantry. Supply use 0.04 compared to 0.06 with infantry. If I could update these templates, I could technically make a lot of them, but it's kind of too late. And then, yeah, there's the cavalry, which use even more supply, but they're speedy. So that's a thing. I don't know. Well, let's for now go ahead and just duplicate this template and start getting some extra artillery on the front, because we find that that does tend to work pretty well. This will be the 27 with infantry plus artillery that I usually use. Toss on, not anti-air, thank you. Artillery, get to 27 combat width. I do think a little bit of extra recon is good, and I would like the logistics company. You know what, I prefer that over recon, so let's go ahead and do that. Change the icon, that, boom. Okay. So we'll start swapping out some units for the better versions with more artillery and soft attack once I find that I have a big surplus of artillery to go around. We did research the 1939 a little bit ahead of time, so we're actually building up some efficiency at a pretty decent rate. So we're going to have an advantage in the artillery game, at least to a degree. which is good enough for me, thank you very much. I guess there's nothing else to do but go ahead and just upgrade things like my capital ships. What am I gonna do with the cavalry expert? Like, come on. I'm doing nothing with the cavalry expert. It's pathetic. Patut. Does nothing for me. If you've forgotten, by the way, and you're wondering, how the heck are you gonna attack Britain? Answer, I have claims on all Christian non-Catholic nations. Remember that. I can puppet the UK anytime I want. Same with, by the way, the Soviets. Same with a whole bunch of people in Germany, too. You know? If you strayed from the faith back during the a certain league war, religious league war in Germany, then, you know, it's a little bit of a delayed impact. It's 1939, but we're going to bring you back into the fold for the true faith. I promise. It's going to happen. All right, what else do we want? Let's think. Radar stations, no. Infantry weapons, kind of late. Would have used this earlier. Synthetic refineries. So this stuff is actually important because I can't actually scratch my head through my Pope hat. Oh, that's fun. This right here, you have a choice between strengthening up the northern or southern half of Italy. Northern gets you some civilian and military factories, south gets you a little bit of both and some naval bases. But the reason that's important is I deliberately chose some of my design companies, which I don't know if it'll say it here, but some of them specifically said that they will get better if you get the northern industry. So I chose that intentionally. So we do want to go down this route. The question is, do we want that now, or do I want to be going for things like, I don't know, preserving the army traditions? What is this going to do for me? Armored Recon Company. Yeah, but that doesn't mean that no one does anymore. You're not allowed to do that. Division organization, blah, blah, blah. We do need to go down a lot of these. We also want to go for things like air innovations. Let's start with that. Start with the air innovations, get a research bonus so we can get to 1940 fighters a little bit early. They are now, by the way, Germany and the Soviets are planning on dividing up Poland. Makes sense. But anyway, we're going to be going for that so that I can get 1940 fighters and CAS both running up a little bit early. Do that, and I think we'll be in a little bit of a better spot. All right, let's see. We need more generals. Giuseppe? Planning speed guy. Mountains. I don't know. I don't really like any of these guys, if I'm honest. We have very few good generals anymore. Sure, whatever. We'll go for the planning speed guy. Doesn't matter. Hey, can I make you all into the better ones? I don't have enough artillery, but you know what? Let's just go ahead and start. We'll gradually reinforce these guys. Shouldn't take me too unbelievably long, and then we'll be fine. We'll be fine. Who's worried about it? Doctrines available for the air stuff. Yes, yes, yes. Do we want to go for the battlefield support? Maybe. Do we still have the negative impacts to... Yeah, we still have this sucker going for us. The military industry problems. I wish we could get rid of some of this. Regia Aeronautica. Question. Can I see where to modify and maybe get rid of some of that? Here's something where I can modify this. Sure. Okay, no. Can you get rid of the text so I can look at this, please? Gosh dang it. Well, there's things down here that will let me start boosting these things up to become actually pretty good again. Yeah. Yeah, long-range aircraft. Uh-huh. Okay. All right, let's get the air innovations going, then we're gonna start buffing up our army. I wanna make sure that my army actually is good quality. We're not gonna have enough troops to be like a major threat, but I don't need to be a major threat. I just need to have quality troops so I can take what I want, so I can accomplish my goals, so I can get my achievements, so I can laugh. Unfortunately, there goes some of my consumer goods, but who cares? I still have only 12. That's nothing. Air innovations is done. We'll go for the research in just a bit. Let's go for the preserve army traditions. There are two options. I don't really know if Bandits War is better. It's kind of fun. I mean, okay, what it does do is it gives me a new chief of army who actually could be pretty solid. But I'm not going for a mobile warfare style, so it makes more sense to just do this. Even though I would really like to have another chief of army who could have given me some good experience and stuff, but whatever. This guy will just have to do. I'm settling, by the way, just so you know, I'm settling for this guy. Let's go and pick up some anti-sub detection. That's usually kind of nice. All right, we have armored trains. I'm not looking to build any of those right now. Let's go for the small airframe. So, trains, how much does this cost again? So it's 105 IC versus 70. You know what? We actually do have enough extra trains that I feel like I could swap over to the ones that are less likely to get bombed by the British, and that would be okay. Something else we should consider building out over here is going for some extra supply. So something like this. You know, build that up a couple times. Maybe get myself a bit of an extra railroad or two over here. We're gonna have some supply issues for sure. I would like to have more supply toward the front, if we can build this in time. So we'll try something there, and then something kind of similar over here. I don't know if we're gonna be able to build these fast enough for what I want. I just know that I have a really hard time getting supply in Africa, and it tends to lead to an unnecessary number of deaths. So we're gonna try to avoid that. All right, so we could go for some improvements to our artillery now a little bit ahead of time. That was the original plan. Let me just reassess, make sure we still like that. Could consider going for some bigger engines. Don't think I need it. Could go for the medium tanks. You know, we have talked about doing that. Or, you know what? I guess we could just go ahead and grab the railway guns. Yep, let's just commit to that. I like the idea of death from above, hammer of God. Not that God is Thor, exactly. God could be Thor if God wants. I don't know, he's God. All right, let's see. We are running low on rubber because I'm building out a lot more planes. That's good. We'll start siphoning in some towed anti-air. I would benefit from a lot more support equipment so I can make use of logistics companies. Poland has refused the German ultimatum. Germany declares war. World War II hath officially begun, which is good for me. Let's go ahead and upgrade. Let's upgrade the logistics companies. I think that's fine. Poland joins the Allies. Okay. There goes the naval treaty. That's fine. So I'm now just waiting for the Germans to go for France. That's all I care about. I'm waiting for the Germans to take down France, create Vichy, then I get to make my move. We're still, by the way, not at 50% world tension. Notice, by the way, that Turkey is guaranteed by Germany and the UK. If we're already fighting the UK, this doesn't matter. If we're in the same alliance as Germany, the same thing as Vichy France applies. We'll be able to attack them and not fight the Axis. So the strategy is still completely unaffected by the fact that I was not able to rush a war against Turkey. I know that's what some people said you really need to do, but so far it seems to have gone just fine and dandy. Do we want to go for some upgrades for my ships? I don't like reducing my sub detection by a ton. Then again, the Mediterranean is considered ocean, not shallows, I don't think. Yeah, shallow seas. Yeah, so subs can still operate fairly well in most of this territory. So no, that's not going to do me any good. Better screens? Yeah? Or speed? Or make everything more expensive but get more subs? Mediterranean fleet designer, max speed. This would be interesting, because with the extra speed I can avoid getting hit more often, and I don't necessarily care about the range, but I think we're gonna go for this one. This also gets me the speed that I want. Let's just do that. It's fine. I don't know. I've got political power and I'm doing nothing with it. By the way, let's continue upgrading. I'm gonna go for... Let's go for some army intelligence or something. How are we doing as far as our occupations? Should for the most part be looking pretty fine. That's not so bad. So around Bulgaria, I think we're ready to now go ahead and swap over to a civilian oversight. Albania is definitely in the same boat. You're fine. We'll go for civilian. Yugoslavia is looking good. You can go for civilian. Greece is still feeling a little uppity. So we're going to keep an eye on them Greeks. Let's go for an upgrade to my anti-air, because then I can start producing the new stuff and building up efficiency a little bit earlier, and that's more important than getting a stat upgrade if we're not at war. And then for you, let's go for upgrades to... Still early for the cars. We're not going to worry about that. Could go for some excavation. Could go for some extra rubber production. Heavy machine guns. Not worried about any of that yet. We could go for some improved light batteries on my ships. It's almost time to go for landing craft. I thought we had two 75% boosts. Isn't that what it said? Why do we only have one? Let's research the medium tank chassis. I know we're behind times on that, but at some point, if I can get myself some of those, I would like it. Germany is making some pressure against the Benelux. They only just now took Warsaw. You guys are a little slow. Little on the slow side there, Germany. Come on, finish off Poland. Give me some give me some more world tension. There goes Poland, thank you. Oh, that's still not enough. 49%, huh? Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, we can actually still go down this route here, huh? I didn't know that. More boosts for aircrafts. Create a bunch of variants for free. Expand the Rome school and for flying. I feel like we should probably go ahead and work on something like the extra recruitable population, and we should consider training a lot more troops. So let's train a whole bunch over here. Give yourself a proper offensive army. You guys are also going to set up over here against Vichy France when they're eventually done. Change your color to something that's easy to recognize. Green will be good. Nice. All right, all looking fine there. As far as fighting Turkey, these guys are no problem at all. I know I don't do this very often. I know there's a cheesy strat to deal with these guys. It's pretty straightforward. You pull your troops back, expose a couple victory points, the idiots run forward to take them, and then you just punch through the sides, encircle, kill them, and just keep doing it until they have no army. It works really well. It's a strategy I learned in the Old World Blues Fallout mod, and it also works really, really well. So Germany is going for the Netherlands. Kind of weird. Honestly, they should be just going for Belgium and just punching through to France and then finishing up the Low Countries, but for some reason they decided it's more important to just go ahead and take that out. Anyway, so that's done. Hungary just joined the Axis. That's fine. I don't think that they are a threat to me. Belgium's going bye-bye, and then Germany's going to make a beeline for Paris. Good. And once that is over, we're going to be going for this. There's plenty of world tension now, by the way. Everyone's feeling good and tense. I'm going to go ahead and start the justification process. 115 days. Is that right? Is that what I want? Yes. No? Well, maybe. Let me think. The timing of this is going to be a little bit weird, because I'm going to be fighting France. So what's going to happen is I'm going to attack the UK, fight France, because I'll be joining the Axis at that point. And as long as the war with the UK is still going on, then I can justify on Turkey, and if it only takes 3 months, that's not that bad. We can afford to wait on this a little bit. I don't want to just jump the gun and find myself fighting on too many fronts in really nasty territory, you know what I mean? Luxembourg is falling to the Germans now. Good. What else do I want to do? What else do I want to do? There's nothing to do with my political power except hold on to it for annexations, if I'm honest. Pretty sure that's exactly what's left to do. All right, there's my extra recruitable population. I'm going to go ahead and grab the bonus for my air, because we will happily make a lot of use of that later. We do want to trade for a bit more of the rubber. And I'm not producing enough steel, but that's fine. What are we doing as far as our... Oh, I already got... Okay, everyone is not aligned. I was going to say, maybe we need to get some more support there. Nope, we are completely fine. There's the railway guns done. November of 1939, you know, I feel kind of comfortable just going early on the improved computing machine. So we can get a bit of a research boost applying to all 5 of these research slots. Paris is going to be falling here pretty soon. Waiting. Come on, you know you want to do it. Just do it. Come on. Everyone else is doing it. Die. All right, we're almost done getting on my radar, by the way, and we are working on some of these extra supply points. There's Vichy France. All right, now we justify our war goal. It'll take 105 days, but that's completely fine. They're guaranteed, but who cares? And the Allies shouldn't do anything about this. Who cares? Free France is gone. So when we end up fighting against Vichy France, that's all of Northern Africa, that's Syria, and that's Southern France. Guess what we need for a certain Roman Empire? So this kind of works for me. This is why I want to do all of this. Now we just need to join the Axis, and to do that, I just declare war on the UK. It's that simple. It really is going to be this simple. The Pope is so powerful. If you can just get the Balkans early, take out Bulgaria before they become a problem, for real, it's ridiculous how good they are. Man alive. All right. We are going to want to have things like better military police, but for now, let's go for improvements into our artillery divisions. Still working on a lot of these guys. How are we doing logistically right now? We are only just now still on artillery. It's a good thing I made these guys cheaper because we can produce artillery a whole lot faster, but I don't feel comfortable swapping a lot more of my units over to being very offensively oriented yet. So we'll have to wait on that. Supply-wise, we're struggling. The British are hanging out over here. Hi, how you doing? There's a lot over here as well. We're gonna need some extra reinforcements over here, probably. Maybe? I don't even know. Well, we'll go for this. And this. Let's just get some planning bonuses going, and getting around the Suez Canal to Cairo. That right there is gonna be one of the big tricks. But at least we're gonna have planning bonuses kind of working across the board for us. And Orange, you also need a bonus going this way. We'll worry about Turkey and stuff later. In fact, actually what I'll do is create a fallback line. Something like this, I think, is what we want. I don't want to lose the port, though I don't think it matters that much if I do. But anyway, we pull back on this, so when we eventually fight them, it's going to be easy. And we, of course, do have an upgrade for my anti-air. Perfect. And let's turn off the outdated equipment. Let's go ahead and trade for a little bit of extra steel with our good buddy bud Germany, who totally will be my friend forever. And then we're set. Why, by the way, do I want to form the Roman Empire? Because it's awesome. But also because you can core a lot of states, get ridiculous amounts of manpower, ridiculous numbers of factories. It's awesome. You can become ridiculously strong. I've said ridiculous several times. That's how ridiculous it can be. All right, I think I'm gonna go ahead and end this video here because I didn't really want to do any jump cuts. I've been doing so many jump cut videos lately, it's literally killing me. And I mean literally killing me. So we're gonna end this here, but thank you all very much for watching. We are now set for the next stage of the war. Vichy France, UK, Turkey, boom boom bada bada boom, annex, my vassals, get Iberia, fight the Soviets. We got our achievements ready to go, man. It's that simple. Thank you all for watching. Be sure to hit that like button, leave a comment, subscribe to the notify bell, and I will see you guys next time.